Hello, today we're going to look at special cases within slope. There are a couple definitions, a couple pure things that happen all the time with slope. In our first case, we're going to talk about our horizontal lines. And horizontal lines always have the equation y equals and then a number. Like in this case, we have y equals 2, and the slope is always 0. So if you think about the horizon, if you've ever seen the sun come up, maybe over a body of water like the ocean, you see the sun come up and it makes that straight line that looks like it goes on forever. I think of that as a horizontal line, and actually the sun kind of looks like a 0, which the slope of every horizontal line is 0. So hopefully that visualization will help you remember that horizontal lines are like the horizon where the sun comes up. So we have some pure definitions with every horizontal line. The slope is always 0. The equation always looks like y equals a number. And if we want to graph a horizontal line, we're asked to graph y equals -3. If I go on the y-axis and I go down -3, I put a point at -3, or I just draw a line right there at -3, a straight, flat, horizontal line. And what is the slope of the horizontal line? Well, the slope of this horizontal line, like the slope of every horizontal line, is 0. That's nice that you don't have to do any math to figure out the slope. You can just look at the line, and by definition, the slope of every horizontal line will be 0. Now, let's talk about vertical lines. Vertical lines are also really a pure definition. They're always in the form of x equals a number. Like in this case, we have the graph of the line, we have x equals 2, and it's always a straight up and down line. And the slope is always undefined, or sometimes you see the words no slope. So vertical lines are always x equals a number. So I could go on the x to 2 and draw a straight up and down line. So no matter what the y value is, x will stay 2. And you just want to keep them straight, that the horizontal line was the one like the horizon, flat, and the vertical one is the one that goes straight up and down. Like if you stood up from your desk and put your hands beside you, you'd make a vertical line. So if we're asked to graph x equals -3, I can go on. I know because it's x equals a number, it's a vertical line. I go to -3, 1, 2, 3 spaces on x, and I can make a vertical line. That's the vertical line of x equals -3. And what do I know about the slope of this vertical line and every vertical line? The slope of this vertical line and every vertical line is undefined, or no slope. All right, you guys try this one on your own. Doesn't have to be a huge graph. Draw this in your notes, wherever you keep your math examples. Graph the linear equation on a coordinate plane, y equals 4, and then identify the slope. Pause the video here and come back and check. All right, for y equals 4, I'd go up 4 spaces from the origin. I'd count up 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and I would draw a horizontal line. And the slope of this horizontal line and the slope of all horizontal lines, 0. All right, same thing, you guys try this one on your own. Draw a little coordinate plane, does not have to be huge. And graph the linear equation x equals 1, and identify the slope. All right, welcome back. Well, I know if I have x equals a number, I have a vertical line. So I'm going to go on the x to 1, and I'm going to draw a vertical line straight up and down. And the vertical line in this case is the slope of every vertical line, undefined, or no slope. All right, you guys try y equals -3. Graph the line, identify the slope. All right, well, if I go down 3 on the y, I would draw a horizontal line, and the slope of y equals -3 is 0. What if I have something like this? Graph y equals x. Well, this is not a horizontal line or a vertical line, so I would need some knowledge of slope-intercept form. I would need to know a little bit about y equals mx plus b because I need to be able to identify the slope, identify the y-intercept. Now, there's no number out here at the end, so I could put a +0 there without changing the value, or I could just realize that if I don't have a number here at the end, it's crossing at the origin. So I need to identify the y-intercept as 0, and then I'm looking for the number in front of the x. Well, every time I have just a variable like just x, it really has a 1 for the coefficient and a 1 on the exponent. So that 1 for the coefficient means my slope is 1. For rise and run, that would be up 1, right 1. And I can go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1 as many times as I want, and it would draw a line that looks like that. And that's in slope-intercept. All right, last one. You guys try this one. Graph y equals -4 and, graph x equals -4 and identify the slope. All right, graphing x equals -4. I would go left on the x, 1, 2, 3, 4 places, and I would draw a straight up and down vertical line. And I like to always label my lines with the equation that goes with it. In case you have more than one line on your coordinate plane, you can identify, oh, that's the one that goes with x equals -4, it's that vertical line. And if I'm asked to identify the slope of x equals -4, the slope of this vertical line and every vertical line, undefined or no slope. So these are definitions that you have. Oh, I have another one. All right, graph the linear equation, the coordinate y equals 1. Well, we can just go up to 1, draw a horizontal line, and identify the slope of the horizontal line is 0. So in math, for the most cases, we have a lot of patterns to learn. These are not so much of a pattern as pure definitions. The definition for horizontal line and vertical line, you'll have to have these things memorized, and you have to know that the horizontal line has a slope of 0. It's the y equals a number. Vertical lines are always the equation is x equals a number, and they have undefined or no slope. So you have to memorize those things. If you get them mixed up on quizzes and tests, you will always get them wrong until you memorize it. So hopefully that visualization of the sun coming up on the ocean at the horizon will help you remember that horizontal lines are flat like the horizon with that sun coming up with a slope of 0. That sun looks like a 0. Have a great day. OUT spells out.